Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Ready, Set, Pop. My name is Mariel Basori, greeting you from Mexico City, and I'm here with two of the most amazing people in the world, my co hosts, Lucas Apache from Brazil and Mauricio Sierra from Colombia. Hello, guys.
Hey
Hello,
guys.
guys.
It
How
is
are you
Thank
so
you,
good
today?
to see
Marielle.
you.
Great.
One more week, one more episode, guys.
Yes,
Track
it's us
16.
again.
Yes.
It's
16. Oh
incredible.
God.
Yes.
And I would like to introduce this subject by saying that this was chosen by our friend Lucas here. And it's all about international pop stars. And we are talking about artists that weren't popular like worldwide, more like in their home country, and that they speak different languages and that we love, even though we don't understand what they're saying. So I want to ask Lucas, why did you choose this topic and what can we expect from this episode?
Okay, Marielle. I chose this topic because I really do love artists all over the world. And I in the past tracks that we did, sometimes I didn't know how to put this artist in the subject we were talking about, and I really wanted. So I decided to dedicate a whole episode about this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like in each country in the world, there's at least one artist that I do like or try to know a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And in a few countries, a little bit more, like Sweden, there are so many that I enjoy it. So there's a chance for us to go outside the US or UK or even from our home countries, Colombia, Mexico, and Brazil,
Mm-hmm.
and spend a little more the pop music subject that we love so much.
Yes, definitely. One time I remember that someone, can't recall exactly who it was, but I was playing a song by it was Finnish group, the winners from Popstars,
Yeah.
and Gimel, or it's their name, and he was like, "Why are you listening to something that you don't understand?" And I'm like, "Why shouldn't I? Because music is universal, and even though I don't speak that certain language, that doesn't mean I don't have I can't like it." So
Yeah.
I think I think music is universal, and we can enjoy it in every language.
Yes,
You're right.
music is a language that everybody can speak, I think.
That's the good one,
Totally.
Mal. Yes. So, to start, you sent us, well, each of us chose three international pop stars, and we would like to talk about each one of the ones we choose. And those list that Lucas sent us had very interesting choices, and
Yes.
I would like to start asking you, Lucas, why did you choose Tiziano Ferro, and introduce us a little bit to who he is and where he's from.
Okay. Tiziano Ferro, or Ferro, as we said here in Brazil, he's an Italian singer. I chose him because I feel like from the artists that don't speak English or Spanish or Portuguese, he's one that I really like it. I can really enjoy his songs in Italian.
Mm-hmm.
He has some songs in Spanish too. There are versions of the Italian songs. But to be honest, I really prefer the Italian versions. I don't know why. Maybe it's more natural for him to sing. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some Spanish songs by him that I really like. So I grew up listening to him. I really like his voice. I feel like he has a different type of voice from other pop guys. Like he has like very low tone, but also very high notes in the
Mm-hmm.
songs. So me as a singer, something that I admire, and I always uh, encourage it myself to try to hit high notes and things like this. And Tiziano's songs are kind of perfect for this sometimes. And here in Brazil, he was popular, especially in 2003 with the single Imbranato that was part of soap opera here in Brazil, that which almost always is what makes a song a hit here in Brazil. So he had like this and Serenere, also in a soap opera that was popular here in Brazil. And a few years later, he recorded a song with RBD, the RBD Girls, El Regalo Más Grande, and the girls and RBD were very popular here in Brazil, so the song was popular too. And finally, Breathe Gentle, that is one of the few songs that he has in English, was released here with Kelly Rowland of Destiny Child, and it was kind of popular too. I chose him because I feel like he would be bigger in the world if he releases something in English. But he only released two singles in English. That was Universal Prayer with Jamelia, the UK singer. And the song was really popular in a lot of countries on the Europe. I think probably number one in some countries, or top 10 at least. So I feel like Tiziano had a lot of potential, and I really admire here. Oh God, it comes again, the word. I really admire him as a person. I know that Mariel has a controversial story to share soon, but I will speak quickly about him. Why? He started very young, and he was very chubby, very fat person, and that's the reason why he wasn't getting to have a deal with some label. The voice was there, but the body, the image was not. So he he lost weight very quickly, which was not healthy for him. But in the minutes he was in the right shape, he got signed. And this was like an issue for him in a lot of aspects. Also, he's gay, and he was in the closet for so many years. He wanted to share his truth, but the label and everyone was against it. So he became alcoholic because of all those things. And now he's happy living with his husband on the US. So maybe it's one of the reasons he didn't try an international career, because in the US he's not famous. So he has this whole community in the anonymous alcoholics. You know, he's a friend of the people in this group, and he loves to go to the market and to do normal things. And when he got to be a pop star, he came back to Italy and make like stadium concerts. So he has two lives. He's like Hannah Montana of the Italy. You know, but I really like his story, and I want to know, guys, if you guys listen to the songs that I recommend, what you guys think, if you guys like it, don't like it, especially Mariel, if you want to share, Mariel, your story with Tiziano Ferro, because I know that you never listen anything by him, and there's a reason. So please tell us.
Okay, before I start, I have to do this in honor of Tiziano. So yeah.
as a Mexican woman, yes.
You know,
yes,
well,
of course.
The thing is, it's not a personal thing with me. I mean, years ago, I can't really remember when it was, but he was asked through a Mexican radio station or something like that what he thought about Mexican women. And he was like, I don't like Mexican women because they all have mustache. And instantly, all Mexicans stopped listening to his music. We are very, like sensitive when it comes to people from foreign countries insulting the Mexican culture or the Mexican people. So when he said that, his fame went like this to this, boom, because of his comments. He was really popular here in Mexico. I do remember listening to some of his songs, but I couldn't remember exactly which ones they were, because he was popular at the same time as Eros Ramazzotti.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
maybe
so
a little later.
I pretty much get confused with them because they are both Italian, so I didn't know who sang what. But now that you sent the songs, I do remember that Serenere. I do remember that one, and I was listening to him, and I'm like, why did he say that? Because he does have a good music. He has nice jams. He has nice voice, but that comment didn't help him at all. So shame, Tiziano, shame. Yes, but I do like his music. And now that you sent it, now that I'm giving it a try, I mean, I really don't care if he called us women being mustache. I don't know. I don't really care because I don't have it. So,
Yeah.
but for but defending women, I know what it feels like to feel like discriminated for something. But besides that comment, I think that he does have the talent. He has the voice. I love the second song that you sent.
Perverso?
Perverso.
Perverso. Perverso. Yes.
Yes.
I love that one. I like the jam, the rhythm. So I'm gonna give him one more try and forget about him speaking against Mexican women. And I don't know why would he said that if he's gay. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
I think, Mariel, this explains a lot because I feel like this comment came from a moment that was very trouble in his life. He was dealing with everything that I said. And maybe for him was like, oh, they asking me about girls. I cannot speak my truth. I don't know all the
mm,
hate involved in this. Maybe you say things that you can regret. I don't know if is this, but maybe. So it's been a long
well,
time too.
yeah, but you
So
you should actually think of what you're saying. I mean, if
oh,
you're
of
being
course, of
asked
course.
of what you feel about Mexican women, oh, I know, I think they're beautiful, and that's it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you don't start messing with our mustache, you know? I mean, we are proud of our hairs. So, nah.
yeah.
Yeah. But
But
anyway,
I'm happy you like it. I'm happy you like
yes,
some
Yes.
song.
yes. Yeah. At least what he did wasn't as awful as other artists that are involved in,
Other
like
scandals. Yes.
Oh yeah,
prostitution
yeah.
or whatever like that. So this was just
Yes.
a comment. So yeah, I'm gonna give him one more try. Thank you, Lucas.
Okay. Thank you. And you, Mal.
Oh well, I have to say I'm a fan of this guy. Actually, I have his CD.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
I forgot to show. I gotta do this. We
Oh,
have all
okay,
different.
okay. Yes, yes. This is a Colombian version, actually.
Oh yeah.
Tiziano Ferro was part of my high school years. I have to say it. I was an instant fan when the first song that I listened at that time was Perdona, that
Mhm.
because he was so popular here in Colombia and in Latin America, I think actually with this controversy in Mexico, it was because Mexico was a platform for him to show his music like in every Latin American Spanish
Okay.
countries. So, for example, Serenere, that in Spanish is Tardes Negras, was a huge hit too. So at first, I was a fan. Maybe then I lost maybe interest in his music, not because of something in special, but maybe I stopped listening to his music so much. But this first album, Rosso Relativo or Rojo Relativo, as it translated, it was for me like very very special. I was listening to his music a lot. Actually, Alucinado was part of a very sad part of my life because
Oh.
at that time, I'm going to share a story with you. At that time, I had a crush on a girl actually, and I used to listen to that song and think about her. And this
Oh,
girl broke my heart because
Oh.
one time she was in 3 grades up of me, like,
oh, okay.
Ahead.
She
and
was
Ahead of
she
you.
yes,
was
ahead of
older. She
me.
was older.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
she was older, and that time I was 13 or something like that. Yes, 13 or 14. Yes, 13 or 12 actually. And actually, we we used to go to the same school, and we live very very nearby. So one day I was like behind of her, and she knew that I like her, so she was like, okay, I want to talk with you. And I was like, okay, and she was like, I don't like you. You are pathetic and very rude and disgusting things about it. Yes, 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 yes. It was very traumatizing for me at that time. Now I'm
My
laughing because
God.
yes, it was very sad. Now, today that I was listening to Tiziano's music, I remember this story,
The
and it was
memories
very
coming back.
sad. Yes, the memories coming back, the sad memories. But this story was a proof that Tiziano Ferro was part of my life in that moment
Yeah.
because I was so so attached to his music. So yes, I like him so much, and he was very popular here in Colombia with Tardes Negras, with Perdona, with Alucinado, with the song with Anaí and Dulce Maria. Yes, he was very popular, and I love his music a lot. Yes.
Great.
Awesome. I love the story.
Actually, actually, it was a sad story, but I wanted to
Yeah,
share it.
but it's the perfect song to pretend to be in a music video, like suffering and
Yes,
being
yes,
dramatic. You're right.
yes, 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 because the song is very sad and it's very dramatic and
Yeah.
it's heartbroken too. And I want to add that he has a lot of R&B influence and soul influence in his music.
Yes.
In this album, for example, because Perdona, that is the
The Spanish.
version in Spanish, yes, has this sample from a song by R. Kelly. That is with Nas and it's called ah, I can for, I can't believe I forget the name. Do you ever think
Hmm.
that is the name of the song by R. Kelly? Yes, this song Perdona has this sample, and when I started to study Italian at college, I was listening to his music in Italian because I didn't have the opportunity to listen to his Italian music at that time, so I was listening a lot his music in Italian, and then I enjoyed them. I enjoy it a lot. Yes.
Yeah. And now he's working with Timbaland. I don't know if you listen to the songs
Oh,
that
I
he's
didn't know
doing
about that. No.
recently.
Oh, that's very
Yeah.
nice.
He has a song called Buona Cattiva Sorte that is produced by Timbaland and is very Timbaland style. You're going to like it. I will share a
Oh,
link.
oh, that's very
So yeah,
nice.
to finish the
Great.
Tiziano part, I want to know if you guys think that he has what it takes to be a worldwide artist. Marielle or Mauricio, who's ready?
Mariel, are you ready?
I know he's good, but I don't see him as a worldwide success. I think that he's more like into the Latin American community,
Okay,
and that's it. Sorry, just
great.
speaking truth.
Mal.
I don't know what happened with Italian singers, for example, Laura Pausini or Eros Ramazzotti or Neg or another examples, but I don't see any of these singers, even with the potential, even with the great voice and look. I don't understand why they are not more famous because they have everything to do to be a successful international singer. So I don't know. I think in the case of Tiziano, he has the look, he has the voice, but I don't know what happened with the Italian acts because it's not like that. So for me, it's a yes. For me, he has everything to become an international star. We have, for
Yeah,
example, I don't know, Enrique Iglesias, for example, that is an international, being from Spain and everything. So I think Tiziano has the same potential, but I don't know what happened with the Italian acts.
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. I agree. I think especially back then, 2001 until 2004, he had what it takes to be international, and especially in the US market. But I don't feel like he was the focus too. But in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, he could be bigger. Okay, so let's
Okay.
move on for the next
Yes.
one.
Yes. Just let me.
Marielle, you want to say something?
Yes, I wanna grab something really quickly. Give me 2 seconds, please.
Oh,
Yes,
okay,
yes,
go
yes.
there,
That's
go
very
there.
nice.
Yes, and we can continue talking
Yes.
because I had a lot
You're
of
going to
stories
edit
with
this?
Tiziano Ferro music too. Because this album that I have here,
Yes.
Sentonche,
Uh-huh.
uh, this I bought like hiding from my parents. I was in the supermarket and I put it is in the card, the carrinho, the little
The
cart
shopping
in the
cart.
Yes.
supermarket.
Yes.
Yeah, and when they were paying for the things, they saw and they were like, "What is this?" But they were so ashamed to be mad with me in front of the person that was working, that they bought it for me. So that's how I got this.
That's a very good story. That is a very good story. So,
Yeah,
and it's important to add, for example, in this episode, in the case of these artists that are not famous or popular, in the case of Tiziano, he was popular, but in the other acts, for example, Elena Paparizo, it's important to say that how we know at that time about these artists. It's important to share it, I
yeah,
think. Yes.
yeah.
So,
Now
well,
that you mention this singer, I think it's fair to Mariel continue with Elena Paparizou.
Para calor, Lucas. I am studying Greek, so
no,
because of Elena.
Awesome.
Yes.
awesome.
So
Yeah,
actually,
they inspired us.
they inspire us, and yes, I love Elena Paparizou. I met her. I knew about her music when she won the Eurovision contest in
Mm.
2005, I think it was. She was the first Greek to ever win the Eurovision contest. Her story is like crazy because she was born in Malmo, Sweden. So she was born in Sweden to Greek parents. And she
Oh,
started singing in this group called Antique, um, with another Greek guy. I don't really recall his name, but they were really popular back then, and they released a few albums together. And then she decided to go solo, and that's how she auditioned for the Eurovision in Greece, trying to represent Greece instead of Sweden, because she obviously is Greek, because her parents are Greek. So and she won, and then she went to represent her country and became the first Greek winner with the song "You're My Number One," which is one of the most amazing Eurovision songs ever. I love it personally, so I knew her because of that. Because my Brazilian friend Rafael, hello, he's the one who sent me. Oh, do you know about the singer who just won the Eurovision? I'm like, No, I'm not really familiar. So he sent me the song, and I instantly fell in love with Elena. So ever since I became a huge fan, I only have one album by her, which is looks like a DVD, but it's
Oh,
actually an album.
no,
Um,
it's beautiful.
Giro a Potoniro, and it has like several songs. She has a lot of albums now. She's the most popular Greek singer uh, right now, as a female singer. So, and her music has been popular in Greece, Cyprus, in some parts of Turkey. And when she won the Eurovision, she was starting to get popular in different European countries, but her music never made it wider. So
yeah.
she's really talented. She's really beautiful. She has an amazing voice. She writes most of her lyrics, so I think she's a very complete artist. She's not a great dancer, but I mean, not everybody can do everything. So I really do admire her, and I think that she deserves a bit more attention. But since Greek is not a language that is worldwide spoken, I think that's why she's only like national, a national singer, because people is like, I don't understand what she's saying. But I think that she does have the talent to be worldwidely recognized, and she sings in English too. So I think she's talented. What about you guys? What do you think about Elena, Lucas?
A lot of coincidences right now because I'm right now trying to discover more music from Sweden.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm following the charts of Sweden year by year, and I'm I'm trying some things from 2003. And like a few minutes before we start, I watch a video by this duo that you mentioned, Antique,
Antique.
Antique.
and I didn't know that was her. I didn't recognize it, so it was very funny. And me and my boyfriend, we were laughing because the guy that was in the video with her looks like he's not singing, like he's just pretending to sing while she's singing. I don't know, it's
Okay.
weird. So it's a coincidence. And another one is that a friend that introduced me to Elena was a friend called Rafael too.
Mm.
Yeah, he sent me the song in 2005 on MSN,
Mm-hmm.
MMSN. You know,
Same,
that's
same.
the same. Yes. And since then, I start to follow her and try to always listen to what she's releasing. Even now, uh, there's a song that she released a few years ago, but recently called Angel or something like this, that I really like it. It's more a ballad or something.
Mm-hmm.
But this song that you mentioned, my number one, is very good, and the music videos that she did in 2005 in that era are so 2000s for me, like very pop 2000 music videos. I really like her. I'm not a huge fan like you, like I can name it the albums or say, oh, this is my favorite songs and everything, but I do know her, and I do like her as a great pop star. Yes.
Yes, she's great. Paracalo, Elena. Paracalo, Poli.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Elena, for existing. And what did you think about the songs that I sent you? Mao, I sent three songs, which are my number
Yeah.
one, Katsakala, which means behave good, and Me, which means no. Those songs were released more recently, especially Katsakala. She released it years ago when she was starting to become popular as a solo singer. And now she re-recorded this version with Joanne and Marceau, who are also Greek singers. Joanne won the Voice in Greece. And she released this version, which I like more than the original one. What did you guys think about it, Mao?
Oh, I enjoy so much when artists, for example, in this case that we are talking about international artists, when it's pop, but when they put a lot of the influence of the country, like the sounds of the country in their
Mm-hmm.
music, and I think it's the case of Elena. For example, in this song, my number one, that is very danceable. When
Mm-hmm.
you listen to that song, you want to dance. I was listening to the song today, and I was like, da 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 da.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's very
It's
rhythmic,
catchy. It's catchy.
yes,
Yeah.
very catchy. Yes, yes, yes. So I enjoy her music a lot. I remember that you to suggest me her music back in the day, Mariel,
Mm-hmm.
when we start talking about different kind of artists. So I think she has the whole package. Like she's beautiful, she has a good voice. She was in Eurovision. That is a huge show. So I think she's great. She's great. And all the songs that, for example, that you suggest that you recommend has a lot of flavor, a lot of grease flavor, like very rhythmic, very danceable. So yes, I think the girl is great.
Yes, she is great. And what about you, Lucas? What did you think about the songs?
Yeah, the my number one I already knew back
Mm-hmm.
then, as I mentioned, and I really like it. The second one that I can say the
Katsakala?
name, please say.
Let's go.
Yes, I watch it and listen to the both versions,
Mm-hmm.
the first one, and I prefer the first one. I think because it's more 2000s, but I think it's the music video that make me
Mm-hmm.
like she's very sexy and the dancers, and I think there's a motorcycle or
Yes.
something going on. I
Yes.
really like it, and the one that is more recent, I
Yes.
really like it too.
I love
I
it.
I feel like she continued to make pop music. She's not trying to make a trend or something. She's very faithful to her style,
Yes.
and as Mal mentioned, always putting Greek influence in her sound. So yeah,
What is great.
I really
Yes.
like it.
Yes,
Yes.
I love it. So, yes, thank you guys for your comments. And do you think that she deserved to be more worldwidely known or just as a European act? What do you think?
For me, yes. I think if maybe she had a song with like a huge DJ, like I don't know
Mm-hmm.
Tiesto or David Guetta, could help her to be more known and then be more um, bigger with her solo career, because I feel like she's doing this for a while, but she's still fresh. You
Mm-hmm.
know, she can be on the charts right
Yes.
now. So for me, it's a yes.
And you, Mo.
For me, it's a yes too, but I consider every country needs this kind of artist. Like, for example, for Greece, she's a queen. So I think she doesn't need to be huge, very popular worldwide, to be great, as she
Oh
is.
yeah.
So yes, I think, because guys, and we were talking about it, like we are talking about this, like, in every episode. Sometimes everything is about the US, everything is about Billboard, and everything is about this kind of charts. And we have these examples that we are talking about to get today. That, for example, Elena and these other artists that we are talking about later. And this is the perfect example that we have huge, amazing artists, and it's not necessary to be in the charts, in
Mm-hmm.
a very known chart, to have fans. For example, in the case of Mariel, that is a fan of this girl that is from Greece. You don't need to be in this kind of chart to be known worldwide, because people that loves music, like we do,
We'll
um,
find her. Yes.
will find
Yes.
her anyway. So yes, yes.
And now it's
Yes.
But
You're
easier.
I
right.
think it's a yes, yes.
Now it's easier to be
I know
Yeah.
it's
to
easier.
reach
Yes.
more people, more crowd, because with social media and stuff you can promote your music, don't matter where you are. So
Yes.
back then, like you mentioned, we were just focused on what was hot on the Hot 100, or
Yes.
international popular charts like the UK singles chart, or probably Australia. But nowadays it's easier to get to know more about artists like Elena. So yes, for me, it's obviously
Yes.
a
Yes.
yes. I mean, I think that she has the whole package to become an international star, but well, I don't think she minds. She loves being in Greece, so
Yes. This is the best part.
Yeah.
yes. And she's proud of what she's doing, so anyway.
Yes. And this is the most important thing. Yes.
And now, Mao, you chose uh three artists, and we I would like to ask you, why did you choose Charisse, who I don't know what her name is right now, because I know that she just transgender, or
It's Jake. Yes, Jake is Cyrus.
Jake Cyrus. Yes. Yes.
oh.
Thank you, Mariel. I'm going to make this disclaimer today because I'm going to talk about Charisse. I'm going to refer as Charisse, taking in account that now he's Jake
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus, but I'm going to talk about as
Okay.
Charisse, and I'm going to talk about her. But I know that she's not Charisse anymore. So with all of the respect that Jake deserves as a transgender guy, I'm going to talk about
Okay.
Charisse. I know Charisse is not exist anymore. She's not existing anymore.
Yeah.
Because Jake is not performing with that name anymore and with that identity anymore. But I'm going to talk about the moment that she was Charisse,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Just
Great.
to make the disclaimer with all of the respect for this artist. So Charisse start. She's Charisse Pempenko. She's from Philippines. She start her career in this contest, like this kind of show that is for for talented boys and girls and kids, that was called Little Big Star. Is funny because she didn't win in that moment. She has an amazing, or she used to have an amazing, beautiful voice. And then she started like participating in this different kind of shows, to be more known. But in that time, I know that you remember, guys, that YouTube was very popular, and all of these singers that were like in their houses, were uploading videos like singing and stuff like that. So because of that, she was invited in by Ellen DeGeneres to participate in her show, and she was phenomenal because she used to she had an amazing voice, and she had an amazing voice, and everything was so great for her in that moment. So Oprah invited to her show too, and in that moment Oprah helped her to get a deal with David Foster. So she at that time she participated in the David Foster and Friends, that was like a concert, making some Celine Dion songs. And in the Oprah show, they had a surprise for Charisse. So Celine Dion was like from Canada, or I don't know, like seeing her show, and then Celine was like in communication with the show, and Charis was so excited in that moment, and Celine Dion invited her to be part of a show in New York City in
Mm-hmm.
Christmas. So from that moment, she start to happen. Everything happened for Charisse in that moment, and she was part of the cast of Glee
Mm-hmm.
in that moment, like 2009 to 2010, I think. So she was starting to be like the new Joan Diva with this amazing voice, and it's amazing because she's from Philippines, and it's not easy
Mm-hmm.
for an
Yeah,
artist like her,
not common.
yes, to be in the charge. Her first album, like an official release, was she had like two EPs before this, but the international success came with the album Charis. We have this song that I think that is
Pyramid.
Pyramid with Ayaz. Yes, she has a lot of R&B influence. So at that time, I was so addicted to her music because of that, because I loved so much her voice and her style, and everything that she was doing at that time was so appealing for me. So after all of this time, she decided to came out as a lesbian girl, and then she decided to to be a transgender guy. So we're not talking about this today. We're just talking about like the
Mm-hmm.
music.
Mm-hmm.
But I enjoyed her music so much back in the day. I unfortunately I don't have any CDs by her, but I love her so much as Charisse. I've been listening to the music that she's doing right now, like or he's doing right now under the name of Jake Cyrus. That is his identity right now. But I have to say that I prefer, of course, the Shari's music because that was that I like at that time. But I respect her so much. I respect him so much now as a singer, and I think eventually it could be like his decision right now to make a transgender is okay. I think it's a talented person with a gift. So I want to know your opinions, guys, about it. Mariel, what do you think? I maybe I think that you knew Charis at the time.
Yes, yes. I obviously knew the song Pyramid, and I was always curious. Well, not curious. I mean, always fascinated by the fact that she recorded the same song that JoJo did, "No to God."
No to God?
I
Yes,
really
yes,
loved
yes.
her version even more than JoJo's. She
Oh,
yes,
wow.
she has such a powerful voice. Well, when she was Cherise.
Yes.
Yes, yes,
So
yes.
I think she was talented. Probably not the most beautiful. Talking about looks, because sometimes looks help you a lot to become more popular. But she does have the talent, and I have to get more into her music. I only listened to the songs you sent, and and knew about No to God. But I will definitely check her out more because I know she's really talented. Well, as Charisse, and yes, I think that she's a good singer.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
perfect. What about you, Luquitas?
I used to listen a lot. I was really excited for the debut album back then. I remember that, and the single Pyramid. I wasn't super happy when it was released. For me, it was like okay track, but I really liked other songs like Before It Explodes that you
Yes.
suggest for us. I used to listen to this one more. There's a version with Bruno Mars that I
Yes,
don't
there is
even
a
know if
version
it's
for Bruno Mars.
official or something, but I used to listen to this version too. It's very beautiful, the voices together. And the other song that you send us that she's not
It's
singing
it's
in
in
English.
Tagalog.
So yeah,
It's
so
Tagalog,
Mm-hmm.
yes.
I cannot
No, no, me
say the
neither.
name of the song.
No, me neither.
Yes, I didn't know it before, but it's very sweet, very beautiful song. I love the sound of the acoustic guitar on that. I really enjoy it. But my favorite by Charisse was One Day. Is a song
Yes.
uh, written by Nick Jonas of the Jonas
Mm.
Brothers,
Okay.
and it's very pop. and this is my favorite. But for me, what happened that she and now he were it was not bigger is the songs choice for singles, or I don't know, because the voice was so huge and the songs they wanted to make so young, so pop at the same time. So I feel like it was like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
not balanced, you know.
Yes. Mm.
Deserved a more powerful song and more catchy. I don't know. So for me,
Yes.
the reason was the songs, because the voice, the talent was there and still here now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I forgot to mention that I got to know about Charis at the time because I used to work in Sara. I've been sharing this story in every episode, but I used to work there, and they were playing a lot of this kind of music, that pop music and R&B music,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember a song called Nothing that is from her debut album, was playing all the time at the store. So I was like, who is at that time? I don't know, but I think Shazam was not
No,
working at the time.
was
So I
not a
was
thing.
like, I was taking notes.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 2009, 2010. I was taking notes about the
For the
lyrics.
Yes.
lyrics, yes.
Yes, and then try to find the song, and
Yes.
that's the story about how I knew about Charisse about that time.
Oh,
So in this case, guys, well, I don't know. Maybe Lucky just already shared like his opinion about like if she
Yeah.
deserved as Charisse, if she deserved at that time to be more known or more popular, or what was her say. I think she had her moment, and that was all.
yes.
Like she had her
Yeah.
international moment. What do you think, Mario?
Definitely. I mean, I don't see her as an international superstar. If she remained as Charisse, let's just suppose. Um,
Yes.
like I mentioned, she doesn't have like those looks that made people be attracted to, because that's really important.
Okay.
Unfortunately, sometimes looks help you to gain more popularity. And but in her case, I think that she had her moment, and that's it.
That was
Yeah.
all. Okay. Okay. Lucky, just
I think that, as I said, the songs should be more selected for
For her
her, so
voice.
it would be
Mm-hmm.
bigger. And I don't know much now of Jake's music, but so I cannot opinion, but I feel like he can explore, and who knows, be bigger than Sharice was. I don't know, but I gotta listen to the music he's doing right now. I don't know much.
I think he's doing like more rock oriented music.
Mm.
Oh, really? So I gotta
Check it
Yes,
check
out.
it.
yes. And because of the change, of course, his voice is different now.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
yes, it's good music too. It's good music too. So, anyways, thank you
No,
guys.
thank you, Mau.
yeah. I will check.
Yes. Lucas,
Thank you.
you're following. I was really well intrigued because I know who she was, and I was introduced by this woman, by the same guy, by Rafael. So
Me too.
Okay.
By Rafael. Is the same
isn't he the
Rafael?
same?
Is it Same
Well,
Rafael?
probably. Now, her name, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing correctly, but it's Sherry Maimun. Yes, from
Yes.
Israel. Now, tell me, how did you know? Well, now you told me that you met her because of your friend, but why did you like her?
Yes. Okay. I feel like this girl is the reason why I chose this topic, and uh, artist that can describe what we want to say here today, because I don't understand a single word she's singing, and I still can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel those notes and I feel the music, and when I'm in the shower, I can even sing those words. Of course, very wrong because it's very
It's
hard.
really hard.
Uh, it's really hard, but I was introduced the same friend, Rafael. I don't think it's the same because my friend lives here in
Oh, no.
Brazil, in Rio. I believe your friend lives in
But he's
Mexico.
from Rio. So, yes.
It's
Okay,
a
They're
total
both
coincidence.
cariocas. So, yes.
Yes.
both cariocas, and Shiri was part of
Mm-hmm.
Eurovision too. She represented Israel back in 2005. I think the same year that Elena.
Mm.
uh, was in the competition. Probably she wasn't the winner, of course, but he sent me the song of Eurovision, and then Ahava Kitana, I think is this name, that is more rock and is the first track of the her debut album. And for me, it was very pop rock, very powerful track, and I fell in love with her. But she makes like all kind of music. In the same album, we have more pop, R&B, a little bit of hip hop, very ballads with powerful vocals. And I feel like she's one of the best vocalists that we have in pop music. Like she can sing really well, like Lara
Mm-hmm.
Fabian or Delta
Mm-hmm.
Goodrem, this kind of voice. And she has some English songs like Now That You're Gone, that is one of my favorites. And I was so happy that she performed this song on the European MTV Music Awards in
Mm-hmm.
2008, because the show was in Israel, so they always put one act from the country. It happened with Tiziano too in 2004. He represented Italy in this award. So for me, it was very amazing to see her on MTV performing live with that powerful vocals. And she's an artist that I continue to see everything that she's doing. Like in the pandemic, she released a song that has the sample of a Brazilian song that is Tiki 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 Tac by Carrapicho. That Mal
Oh,
knows, I don't know, Marial. Bate forte o tambor. Eu quero tiki 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 tiki.
No.
It was like an
you
Amazonic
don't know
song,
this
very
song,
Oh,
popular in
okay,
the
Mariel?
okay,
90s.
okay. I
Mariel,
don't, it doesn't
you
ring
don't
the
know this
bell.
song?
I
No,
would
it was
I
very
would
It
have
was
to I would
popular
popular
have
in
back
to
then.
Colombia, at
send
Yes,
it
least.
to me so I can
the
listen to it
Carrapicho.
more carefully.
It was
Yes.
called
Okay.
it was called the Carrapicho. You don't remember El Carrapicho?
Carrapicho.
No.
Because Carrapicho is the name of the band, but the song became very popular at that time with the name of the group, and everybody called the song
Oh,
El
okay.
Carrapicho.
Oh.
El Carrapicho song.
At least here in
No.
Colombia,
No.
yes.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, it was very surprising for me to listen. When I was listening to the song, I was like, no way. She's using that song as a sample. And she's like a huge star there. She's like on X Factor and everything. And she's one of my favorites. I love to follow her on Instagram, but I'm sorry, I don't know what she's talking. And the letters that they use to type, and
It's
I
so
don't understand
difficult.
anything, but still, yeah, it's true. I love her. So I want to know first of Mauricio, because I feel like she's very different from what you are used to listen. Uh, what do you think about her?
I think she's the perfect diva. She's the perfect pop star. She's beautiful. She's a stunning girl. I was watching this video. I think I don't well I it's impossible for me to pronounce the names,
Yeah,
but she was beautiful with the big hair, very blonde. Like I was surprised about it because I was expecting other kind of girls. So I think she has, in this case, I think she doesn't have any influence by the music from Israel. I think she's very
Mm-hmm.
pop. She's very, even the last song that you shared with us, it was very bubblegum.
yeah.
I have this doubt because I know she was in a show or something. Yes, she won like a show or something like that.
No, she was a
Or
contest on the Eurovision only. She
oh,
wasn't the
okay,
winner.
okay,
Yes. Now she's on the
okay,
X
okay,
Factor,
okay.
As a
but as a
judge.
judge.
Hmm.
As a judge, yes, I read about that, and I want to know this song it was her debut or something like that. This last song that you share with us because it's very bubblegum. It's
Yes.
like very early 2000s
Yeah,
and
yeah.
yes.
Well, it was not the first single. Actually, the first single was the song that she sang on Eurovision, because it's very common for the artists to begin the careers on Eurovision. They are
Oh.
basically independent artists that the country chose them in another show that is only for the country to
Mm-hmm.
represent them uh, in the Eurovision. So she started then, with the single, and her official debut single was the more rock song that I mentioned. That the music video, she's very blonde and in a house, like old house and something like this. And then the song that is more pop was a single in the same album. It's the debut album, but not the
Okay.
debut single. The singles were very diverse, like different styles in
Mm.
the same album.
Okay, okay, okay. Because yes, I was very curious about it because I perceived this song very pop.
Yes,
As I said, I don't see any influence by the music of Israel in her music because she's very pop, like a
yes.
huge pop star from Israel. Yes.
Okay, New
Well, like
Marielle.
I mentioned, I do know who she was, because of my friend Rafael. But I only knew like a couple of songs, can't recall the names, cannot tell you what they
Of
are.
course.
So, because like you mentioned, um, you can't understand a single word she's saying, which is crazy. Even with Elena, I find it a little bit more not because more
Familiar.
familiar, not because I am learning Greek, but there are some words that come from Greek roots that you can
Yes.
understand. Like, okay,
Yes.
this may mean something, but with
Uh-huh.
Hebrew,
With
it's
Shire.
really really difficult. But I do know that she does have a powerful
Yes.
voice, and I
Yes.
kind of catch why you like her so much, because when I watched the first two videos, I'm like, yes, I know why Lucas likes her, because she has that
Yes.
pop
Yes.
rock vibe, and a voice that is pretty similar in the upscale of Kelly Clarkson. So for me, it was like,
Uh-huh.
yeah, I know why Lucas likes her. So she's really talented, but
Yes.
unfortunately, you can
She's
understand
really talented.
any word. So you will have to add on the playlist that we're going to make for today's episode the songs, because it is impossible for us to
Yeah.
pronounce the names.
Yes. Yes.
But yeah, this is great.
Actually,
Of course.
actually was very difficult to find her music with the
Yes,
name with our alphabet. So
Yes.
I had to look for the alphabet in Hebrew, and I put like copy and
Yes.
paste,
Copy.
and
Yes. It's the same I
yes,
do. Yes.
and everything was there. Yes, but with her name like Shiri Maimon, it was
yes.
difficult. Like
Yes. That
not was appearing all her work.
for me to discover her videos, I had to do both ways. Like if you type Shiri Maimon, you find some things. If you copy and paste the original name, you can find another thing. So that's why I recently found she performing this
Mm-hmm.
bubblegum song. There was a
Oh,
video that I never saw before.
okay.
So yeah, it's really difficult. So to finish, I gotta say that for me, she has what it takes to be an international pop star. If she record some English song,
Mm-hmm.
of course, uh, she's the perfect pop
Agree.
star. What do you guys think?
Yes, I think she does have what it takes, and maybe if she would record in a different language, or more a more worldwidely known language, we would understand more of what she's saying.
Yeah,
But she definitely does have the voice, the looks, songs. I just can say I don't know what you're saying, but they sound good. So yay!
yeah,
It's a yay for me.
they sound amazing. Yeah, Mal.
Yes, I consider the same. Absolutely. She has everything. She's stunning. She has a powerful voice. Her music actually has a have a very good production. So yes, she has everything. So
Yes,
absolutely.
she could be like the
Yeah,
musical
awesome.
Gal
I'm happy.
Gadot for Israel, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, totally.
Great.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you,
So
guys.
now moving on to another one that I chose. I'm really happy to talk about one of my favorite singers out there too. I also don't understand a single word she's saying because, well, Arabic can be difficult. But I'm talking about Miss Nancy Ahram from Lebanon. She is one of the biggest pop stars in the Arabic world. She's really, really proud of her roots because all of her albums, all are in Arabic. She doesn't have a single song in English, or not that I know. So she's like really
Oh,
proud of her language, of her roots. All of her music sounds really Arabic if you listen to it. But I really do enjoy it when I listen to her. I discovered her years ago. I started dating a Lebanese guy who owned a restaurant here in Mexico, but he he had like a year living here in Mexico, so his Spanish wasn't so good, and he was trying to uh, communicate with me in English and Arabic and Spanish. So I think, you know what, I'm going to listen to more of Arabic music, and I did some research, or Lebanese music, and I searched who is the biggest pop star in Lebanon, and that's how Nancy Ahram appeared.
Uh,
And so I downloaded a few songs and I'm like, okay, this girl has talent. And I really like I mean, she's definitely proud of her roots because all of her music sounds like, I'm belly dancing and, that kind of music. I also translate her lyrics because I don't understand what she's saying. And and I think that she's really popular. She now also is a judge on The Voice Lebanon. She
mm,
has like 15 records already released. She
mm,
sings
wow.
in both pop and music for kids too. She has released a couple of albums for little ones. But I think she's one of the most influential Arabic singers. She hasn't been able to travel into most of Arabic countries because she's a woman and she's Catholic. So
Mm.
oh,
being an Arabic Catholic woman is a little difficult. So she's not accepted in certain countries, but she does have a lot of popularity in Lebanon, in Jordan, in Egypt, and some other Asian Arabic countries. But
Arabic.
she definitely has what it takes. She's also beautiful. She has a very particular, like the lips, like she's like this. I always feel like like
Yes.
squishing her because she's always like. But I think she's really cool, and I would like to know what you guys thought of her. Did you know about her, or did you discover her because of what I mentioned? Lucas.
I discovered just now. I never heard anything by her. And to be honest, for me, like you said, is very
Mm-hmm.
local. Her music is not like very what we are
Mm-hmm.
used to
Mm-hmm.
listen. Sounds very characteristic of from her country. So I was not super into the music, but the music videos are pop. You can see that is pop music, and the faces that she was doing in the video are kind of funny. Like you mentioned, like you always say like this. I don't know. I was like, why she's doing this face all the time? Then I know that must be some characteristic for her or the country. I don't know. Uh, but I was not super into the music.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta be honest. It was fun to watch, but I was not crazy
Okay.
about her. But it was interesting to know a pop star for her country that I
Lebanon.
forgot the name now. Liban?
Lebanon.
Yes. And
Yes,
and what
yes.
about you, Mau?
Well, here in Colombia we have Shakira
Mm.
that has these Lebanon roots. So this is great. I'm not saying this because Shakira. I don't consider Shakira a Lebanon artist because I think, of course, she has these roots and she tries to put this in her music or back in the day at least. But she is a
Yes.
true Lebanon singer. So you are listening to a true Lebanon singer with all these Lebanon kind of sounds, and it's very interesting to know a real one. Like I'm not saying Shakira is not a real one, but Shakira only has this
Mm-hmm.
influence, and this girl is
Yes.
from Lebanon. So
Yes.
I always perceive this music so like when you play this music, it's like you want to dance, and I
Yeah.
perceive the video so sexy, so catchy. For example, this first video that I think is called
Ah, ne was. Ah, ne was.
Akamas That's the one. Yes. She's dancing. She's very sexy. And in this other video that she is like in a
A
bar or
Cosmic.
something like that with surrounded, but yes, surrounded by guys and she's
Yeah.
dancing. Yes, I think she's very sexy. I think this is the perfect example. For example, in your case, Mariel, you found this girl at that time because you were looking for singer from that country. So she's the perfect example. Like, if you want to know about pop Lebanon music, Akram
Def.
is the answer.
She's
So
the
I
name. She's
think
the name. Yes.
yes, yes, she's the name. Like she's like I think she's the queen
Oh, yes, she
for
is.
her country.
Hmm.
She's like yes, because she's the perfect representation of it. So yes,
Oh,
I
great.
enjoyed it so much. Like I was like watching the I was like make cleaning my house and I was listening to the music and I
Yes,
was
it
like,
puts
oh,
you in a
this is
good
very
mood
nice.
because of
Yes.
the rhythm, like.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
I
yes.
can see Mao like this,
Yes,
cleaning the
yes,
house.
yes. I'm moving the hips like Shakira, yes.
Great.
Yeah.
And do you think that she could be an international pop star or more? In my opinion, I think that she should remain as an Arabic singer. I mean, for the Arabic community, because the language is really
Yeah, I
difficult,
agree.
and
Yeah.
the music is not for everybody. That kind of music. So, what do you
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
think?
I feel like a few years ago there was kind of market for this, especially in dance music. I remember a song called by Despina Vandi, Gia. I don't know if it's the same local or
Vespina
if it's
Bandi,
kind of
yes.
similar what she's doing, but yes, but with more dance beats. In this, it was popular even here in Brazil. So maybe back then with some dance track would be good for her. But I agree. I feel like she's more
And you, Mo?
local.
Agree, totally agree. I think she's more for her country, not because she's not talented or no, not because of this reason, just because
Hmm.
she's very local, like and what she does is perfect. So I
Yeah.
think she doesn't need to be more known because she's a
Yes.
star in her country. So that's all.
And they would probably try to change her, which would be very
Yes,
Yes,
and she's
yes,
really proud
yes,
of who
yes.
she
yeah.
is and what she
Totally.
has recorded. Like I told you, she has never recorded a song in another language other than Arabic. So, um,
Yeah.
yes, it
It
says a
says
lot.
a lot.
And
Yes.
now that you mentioned that, Mariel, I think that she received offers to be like more popular,
It's
but maybe
probably,
she denied
and she
it.
has a lot of
Probably.
kids,
I
so
don't
I
know.
don't think she has the time. So,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so
Yes.
that's another
Okay.
reason. Anyway, and now moving forward to you, Mao, you chose someone that is pretty similar when it comes to the language. You can understand a single word. But I know that this guy released one
Yes.
song that was popular worldwide back in the day, and we're talking about Tarkan from Turkey.
Yes, yes. Actually, in the same
Mm-hmm.
case of Elena, he was born in Germany, but he's a
Mm-hmm.
Turkish guy. She's from Turkey because her because his parents
Mm.
are from Turkey. So yes, he's considered a Turkish
Okay.
singer. So you know that this song was huge internationally. Shimari, I think that I pronounced the name well. This song was very famous, yeah, around the world, actually in Latin America. And I have this curious about Brazil, Luquitas, because I know in Mexico was popular, here in Colombia was popular too. And this guy, I think, had everything to become a huge star, like the look, he's very handsome, the voice, and but in the case of all the artists that we are mentioning today, I think when they try to put these guys, like these people in the spotlight, they try to change the the this part of this artist that is very like for the example in the case of Tarkan, that his music has this vibe like very
Mm-hmm.
Turkish. I think when they try to put these people internationally, it's like try to change and be more
Yes. Hmm.
mainstream. So I think for us, he's a one-hit wonder because Chimarik was the only song that we know right now. Actually, there is a funny story about him because in 1999, when he was at his height of the career, he in Turkey actually the military service is mandatory for
Hmm.
every man. So he was called to so he was called up to for this service, but because he was like he had compromising with the contracts and everything, it was not possible for him to do this. But there was an earthquake.
Hmm.
Earthquake is
Hmm.
the word
Earthquake.
I'm pronouncing well in in Turkey. So the legislation was changed, and he only got to pay some money and make this service just for
Hmm.
28 days,
Oh. Oh,
Oh,
okay.
and that
okay.
was all. Yes, and then he was asked about it, and he was like, I think for me it was nonsense because I was like quitting my dreams just to be there, and this is not I don't love my country, but I think it's non it's nonetheless. So it's like I don't need to do this because I'm doing something different right now. Like I want to know about your opinions, guys. With this, in the case of Tarkan, when they released this album that is called Tarkan internationally, they put some songs like from his previous record that is called Olorum Sana. And this is like a compilation, but at the same time, it was like the
Oh.
international release
Oh, okay.
for the world. So I want to know what your opinions about Shimarik, that is very known, and the other songs that I share with you,
Well, like you
Marian.
mentioned, Mao, he was huge here in Mexico. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that he once came here to some show and to
I
perform
don't
the
doubt
song.
it.
I was really
Yes,
young because it's what, 1999? Yes, I was 10.
yes,
So I barely remember, but I do remember that he was really handsome. When I look at him, it was like this guy is
yes.
really cute. Um, when I was
Even when you
10.
were 10.
So
Yes,
yeah.
yes. For me, it was the
But
same. I
yes,
was 9, and I was like, oh, this guy
Yes,
is very
well,
handsome.
like most of,
Yes,
Arabic singers and Turkish Arabic people and Turkish, they are very good looking. So yeah, he definitely has the
yes,
looks, but definitely the language doesn't help at all because it's a very difficult language. It doesn't have anything to do with Spanish. So for us, it was just like
yes,
so just like like bubbling the songs because you don't understand anything. And I think that's why he became a one hit
yes,
wonder because it's difficult for us as a Latinos to be related to a such different language. So, but he definitely did have the looks, which is like I told you, it's really important. So, when it comes to the looks, he did have it all. But when it comes to the music, it was really difficult for him to achieve more international success. So, but he's good. The songs that you
yes.
sent, I
Agree.
didn't know them because I only knew Shimarik or that one. And
Yes,
I found them like, oh, he has talent, but I don't understand anything. So I wish I could understand a bit more. And then you sent us a song that he recorded in English, called Bounce, but I
yes.
didn't find it as attractive as his Turkish work. So I think he works more
Oh,
for his country, my opinion.
okay, okay. Because this is when they try to change the
Mm-hmm.
identity to that's why I was trying to say like when they want to put this artist internationally,
Mm-hmm.
they change it a lot, like the label
Yes.
or the producer, like to be more appealing for all
Yes.
people. Like, yes, what do you think, my man Luquitas?
uh, let me let me think of what I was going to say. Okay, he was popular here too. That's what I want to remember. Of course, in 1999, this song was huge here in Brazil. Actually, we had
Okay.
like a compilation that was very popular here. They call Arabian Nights. That kind of everyone had this CD. It was on
Oh,
TV, the commercial. So I remember to see him in the commercial, and the music video on MTV for me was very fun to watch the music video, the girls trying to kiss him and everything. As a kid, for me, was fun. I wasn't attracted by him back then, but today, watching the videos, I was like, I want to do bad things with Darkan. I don't know.
yes.
Because I really love it.
He's
All
He's
of the
he's
yes,
really
he's
good
music that you
looking.
gorgeous.
sent.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, the music video that he's in the car and everyone is trying to get him inside the car is very sexy. I don't know. I was like, what? I want to be there too. I really like it. And the song in English, Change, for me, they kind of kept it, his vibe in this song. But I try another one called Start the Fire.
Mm.
That was the second single.
the second
And
single.
you
Yes,
can see they were trying to make him look like Justin Timberlake
yes,
or
totally.
something with the hat and everything. I want to listen to the whole record in English, but I feel like everything he does is very sexy, very catchy, and I really like it. And of course, here in Brazil, we had Portuguese versions of the song in
Uh,
1999 already. At the same time, there was a group here called Mr. Jam, and they sang like Beijo na Boca. It
Oh
was
yeah.
the Brazilian version. And
oh,
in
okay.
2008, we had with Latino y Perla
Oh.
Selinho na Boca. Selinho is
Mm.
like
Okay.
little kiss. It was very popular in 2008. And I was watching a video, and there's basically a version for the song in every country. Everyone did
Even
uh,
Yes.
even though the
a
Holy
version of this.
Valance song is the best.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, yes, we
I
gotta
was
say
about
this.
to say that.
Yes, but
Yes.
he's good. Kiss kiss.
Kiss Kiss
Yes.
is the
Mwah.
best
And that's
version.
it.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you, guys. I think you're going to love Mariel and Luquillas. I think you're going to love the work in English that he had, like this album
Okay.
Come
Okay.
Closer, because it's very in that vibe, like with they put some R&B pop flavor in that album. So give it a chance because it's a good
Definitely.
I will.
production and a good.
Yes.
Yes, I perceive the same as Mariel said. Like it's not him, it's not so much him. It's good. It's good, and of course, I prefer the work that he did in Turkish
Yes.
for sure. For sure.
Great. Yeah. One
Great.
more.
Yes, and about the question, do you think that maybe he was he deserved more success? Because I think he had success with Shimarik, but I don't know
Yes.
what you think about it. Like he deserved it a lot more.
More like a one-hit wonder, if you ask me. Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, the career would have a whole different way for him to continue to be big worldwide. Um, with the songs he did, it was basically what it was. It
Hmm.
was more local.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you,
And now
guys.
moving forward to another guy that you chose because I chose all girls. Lucas, you went from Italy to Israel and now all the way to Sweden, and you chose one guy that
Yes.
I really like him too, Darin Zaniar. So I know he has no Swedish look at all because he's from Syria or something like that, right?
Yes, it's all
So
mixed
tell us
up.
more about Darin and how you met him.
Back. Okay, I discovered daring with my friend Rafael
Me too.
Okay.
again.
All Rafael
You too.
recommendations today.
Well,
It
actually,
is
when
crazy.
when I got good internet in 2004, I met two different Rafaels, both from Rio. They are
Hmm.
still friends of mine even now. and they like were like bombs for in my life with a different artists around the world. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
waiting for me, you know. Oh, you don't know any, so here it is. La, 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 la. And it was basically that. And Daring was part of the Swedish version of Idol in 2005. He was the winner. And for me, what was curious about him is because I always saw myself as a pop rock artist, because maybe was the reference that I had for the guys in this market. And it was the very first time that I saw a boy making really pop music. Like in the Idol, he was singing Britney and a lot of girls of pop, and he was pure pop. So it was the thing that made me fall in love with his music at first. And I feel like he continued to grow with his music. I have like a huge
Wow.
collection of
Oh
him here.
wow.
I'm really fan. I have like signed
Uh,
CDs by him, like this one, as it's
Wow.
yes, and the Love Killer is signed too by him.
Wow.
I really love his music, his voice, and now he's singing a little bit in Swedish too, and it's different the language, but I still like it. But the work he's doing in Swedish is more folk, not
mm-hmm.
so much pop. But he's also recording pop music again in a new project, and he's kind of popular in a few countries like Italy and here and there, but never worldwide. Like he had one or two
Mm.
hits in Australia that he released. Nobody knows, and I believe it was "So Yours," an English song. It was kind of popular there, but for me, he deserved it more. So I want to know first off Mal, because I don't know if he knew about Darin, and I'm curious to know what you think about the songs that I suggest you to listen.
Yes, I already knew about him because actually I think he's a pop and R&B artist too.
Yeah,
So actually it was a recommendation from my friend Marlon that is from Barranquilla here in Colombia. So it's funny because it was a recommendation too. Um, I there is a guy that I love so much that is
Mm-hmm.
called Sean
Mm-hmm.
Desmond. I think you know him.
yes,
I love Sean Desmond and I perceive the music very similar. Like in this kind of R&B pop vibe. Like I enjoyed so much for sure the songs that you shared. I already knew this
Mm-hmm.
song with Cat de Luna and the other
uh-huh.
songs. Yes,
Reading
I
Your Love,
already,
yes.
yes. I think I don't know, and I want to know this where this come from. Like, is he a real R&B influence guy, or I perceive that in this moment in time they were trying to put on him like this kind of Justin Timberlake kind of vibe because I perceive the music like this. I
Yeah,
don't know if he is genuinely an R&B guy or something like that, but I think he's good. His music is good. I like the songs. I like the vibe. So I want to know about it, Luquillas.
yeah. I think you are right. For me, he's basically pop, very
Yes.
pop,
Mm-hmm.
like Britney Spears fan, and but this album, the Flashback album, you can feel like they try to make more R&B, maybe because it was the trend. Like my favorite song of
Mm-hmm.
this album is
Mm-hmm.
Road Trip, and it could be a song by any guy back then. Like
Back then,
Dave
yes, in that moment.
Archuleta could record it, Elliot Yamin, Neo, any guy could sing this song. It would
Sean
be
Desmond. Yes.
yeah, you would be. And I don't remember if it's this album. I think it is this one or the next one that is very Lady Gaga. All the tracks sounds like Just Dance. You know,
Okay.
it was produced by Red One, and all the
Mm.
tracks is sound the same for me. I don't think it's this one. I think it's the next one. And so sometimes they try to put him in the trend, but he's basically pop. And you, Marielle, I want to know your
Well,
thoughts
I
about
did
this
know him
amazing
because of
guy.
my friend Rafael too. I remember that this first song he sent me was Step Up. So, yeah.
Same, yeah, with me
So
was the
I
same.
really, no,
They are
they
not
are
the
kind
same,
of
Raphael, but they kind of
linked
are the
somehow.
same.
I really like
Yes.
I
Yes.
have always liked Darren. I think he's a very complete artist. He might not look Swedish because he's definitely not Swedish because of his ancestry, but he has
Yes.
the looks. He's cute. He has good songs. He's really into pop music, which I really love because sometimes singers try to experiment with different genres, but he has always stayed faithful to his pop roots. So, yes, he definitely has what it takes, and I think that he does need he's the one that I could see worldwidely known. He because he sings in English.
Yes.
So, and I have listened to some of his Swedish songs, but I'm not a huge fan of his Swedish work. Like you mentioned, he's more like into folk. But when it comes to his English work, he's really good,
Yes.
and he really loves that dance. Let's make choreographies. Let's have fun with our music guy. So I think he's a very good artist, and I do like him with Step Up and Wanja. I love that song.
Yes. One chat, an amazing vocal. So for me, of course, he should be worldwide for Marielle too, and for you, Mauricio.
All this time I disagree with you guys. I yes, because I don't perceive any difference from this guy. Like it's funny because it's this kind of guy that I like very R&B pop vibe. But for me, it's not. Don't take it bad, but it's like an average singer for me. Is I don't perceive like he has a good voice and everything, but it's very average for me. So I think it's like other
Mhm.
act, So, but
Okay.
I think
Uh-huh.
I think he's good. I like his music, but I don't see him like a super famous singer around the world, like
Okay.
very
Okay.
appealing. No, no, I don't
There's
consider that.
nothing
Yeah.
authentic for
Mhm.
you.
I don't. Yes, but that's why my question, Luquillas, because I don't know like what are his
Mhm.
influences in music. So I wanted to know more about it. So I don't want to say that he's not authentic because I don't know his work very much. But yes, I don't think mostly I don't see any
Okay.
difference in
Yeah,
him on him. Yes.
Okay. Well, it's okay. It's okay. We all
it's
have our
fair. It's
opinions.
fair.
Yes. Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, and that's the
Exactly.
amazing of
And
this
now, my
podcast.
turn. My turn to talk about one of
Yes,
my biggest divas in the world.
yes.
She's part of my top five singers out there. Did you know? She comes all the way from beautiful Hawaii.
Oh
I know
wow.
Wow.
Hawaii is part of the
Yes,
US, but you know Hawaii is
yes.
like a missing something for the US because since Hawaii is an island, it's really apart from the whole American culture. So, when you think of
Yeah.
Hawaii, you don't think about American culture. You think about, like
No,
island island
island.
vibes,
Yes,
beach
Yeah.
and stuff like
yes.
that. So I would like to talk about my girl Anuhea Jenkins. I love her. I love this woman. I discovered her like 5 years ago when I was searching for Hawaiian music because I love Hawaii. I'm really into the Hawaiian culture. I visited Hawaii years ago and I fell in love with it. Yes, it's beautiful.
Oh wow.
So I always fell in love with the whole Hawaiian culture because it's like one of the few authentic cultures of America because it's the culture that they didn't kill like at all because they're really proud of their roots
Yeah.
and they're Polynesian and they're really authentic. But when it comes to Anuhea, she doesn't look Hawaiian at all, but she definitely is Hawaiian. She has actually described her ethnicity and that she definitely comes from Hawaiian ancestry. I think she has some German roots back there too, but she's really proud of her roots. She speaks both Hawaiian and English, and she has always sing in English, but she does have a few songs with Hawaiian
Well,
lyrics out there. And I discovered her searching for Hawaiian singers, and I fell in love with her music. She has now three studio albums, one EP, one Christmas album, uh, and she's really authentic for me because she mixes, this kind of reggae with pop, and I don't get tired of her voice, and she's not annoying for me. Sometimes there are singers that you say like, okay, I just can't stand like one or two songs, but when it comes to Anohea, I'm always like, oh, I could listen to her all day because she doesn't scream. She's really relaxing. She's really cool, and well, she's my girl. So, I happen to have her uh the best of Anuhea signed signed here, and she
mm,
sent me a post-it
Oh,
because
that's
I
awesome.
believe that when she saw the
oh,
order from Mexico, she could be like, "What?" So she signed it here. She signed it here, and she says, "Mahalo, Mariel. Hope to see you in Mexico someday, Anuhea." So, yes, she's
that's
amazing.
very
Oh, it's
And I
nice.
cute.
actually texted her
Very cute.
when the album arrived because it took like 4 months to get here. And she was like, "Do you really did it took so long? I'm so glad that you now have it." And it's a beautiful album of her 10 years of career, and she yes,
That's very
Oh, good.
yes, and
beautiful,
she
very
Yes.
sent me
colorful.
some stickers too. Um, yeah, so I'm really happy
Oh,
of this album. It's one of my favorites, and I love Anuhea, and I really relate to her too because she suffers from depression, and she has openly spoken about that, and how she struggles with
Oh,
depression. She
awesome.
has really strong depression, not like the level that I have. I mean, she's like really high, and she
oh
lost a
wow.
baby like 2years ago,
Oh,
so
okay.
that kind of put her down a little bit. And but she still released music, and I would like to know, what do you guys think of Anuhea? Lucas.
I knew her before because of a little group called Pop Rush
Does ring
Community.
the bell.
Do you know, guys? As I said, I started a long time ago to listen to everything in that group, and she's
Hey.
in the letter A, so she was one of the first. And I listened to her whole discography, like back then, and I still listen a little bit now. I really like it. I really love reggae music. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but every time an artist make this fusion with reggae music, I really like it and so good to listen. I really love to listen Bobby Marley, so um, the roots are there. And the song that you sent today,
Higher
the
than the
first one,
clouds.
that is something we love,
Mm-hmm.
Higher Than the Clouds. Yes, thank you. This track for
It's
me, the
beautiful.
melody and the
Mm-hmm.
chorus is so pop. Like I can imagine this song in a different production, like more pop or more R&B, and it will still sound good. Like I imagine Stacey Rico singing this, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and it would sound amazing. So it shows that it's a great song. But her version with the reggae roots, it's really cool. I really like it. I feel like sometimes I don't know if she's a independent
Yes.
artist. I think so. So sometimes a few songs sound a little bit uh,
Mm-hmm.
not so well produced to me, but not always. Like it's only some tracks that sound more like this that deserve it more production. But after all, I really like this girl.
And what
The
about you,
songs are
Ma?
really good.
I knew about this girl because of you, Mariel, because you mentioned this girl before, like you recommend some songs. I love everything about like chill and calm. For example, in at night I listen this ASMR audios and videos. I don't know if you know about it. So
Yeah,
for
I saw
relax,
your
I
last FM. Yes.
yes, yes, yes. So I perceive the music of Anuea in this kind of vibe. this kind of music that you play when you want to be relaxed and when you want to maybe not dance, not this kind of music of a club or something like that. It's more to relax, more to be like in calm. For
Mm-hmm.
example, when you are working or when you are doing something like that, is the perfect music. So I enjoy it so much. This
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
song, Higher Than the Clouds. I it
Love it.
happened that is my favorite because I feel this vibe. I
Yes.
feel this vibe that is very relaxing. I love this kind of vibe. Actually, I love everything about relax and everything. So yes, and actually I read about it, and one of
Yes.
her influences
Yes.
is Jason Mraz. So
So
I
it makes
understand why you
sense. Yeah.
love so much this girl.
Yes.
Like it's perfection for you, Mariel, because it's like the perfect. I understand why she's
I
your
would
queen
love to see
because
a
everything is
duet
about
with
you.
those two. It
So
would be
so
great.
yes, imagine that it would be great. Yes, yes, yes. And now that you was showing the album, it's
Hmm.
very beautiful, very
Yes.
colorful, very very beautiful. I consider this kind of artists that are very are independent, has this kind of
Hmm.
freedom
Hmm.
to do this kind of things. Like because
Yes.
I see this album in that moment and I perceive
Hmm.
a genuine work for
Yes,
from there
she's
from
really
her.
cool,
So
and I
yes.
hope that she gets to release more music because it's been a while since she released her latest album. So please, Anuhea,
Oh, okay.
do us the favor, girl. And and do you think that she could be more
Yes, yes.
recognized?
Yes.
I don't know if worldwide, but more popular? What do you guys think? I think that she should.
I think with the yeah, she should, but I think with the right song, as you mentioned, a duet with Jason Mraz
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
or a song
mm-hmm.
with Colby Kylat, I don't know, could help her.
Yes, she's great. What about you,
Definitely,
Mo?
yes.
Yes, but not
Mm-hmm. Her
losing her
Hawaiian roots.
style. Like, yes, the Hawaiian roots and this reggae style. Yes, yes. For example, yes, in a
Mm-hmm,
collaboration,
mm-hmm.
but with this flavor, because
Yes.
that's her. So not trying to become her in
Yeah.
a pop diva or
Her
something like that.
style.
No,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
with
Okay,
her
well, thank
style.
you guys.
Yes.
And finally, Mao, you recommend us someone that when I first listened to it, I was like, yeah, this is Mao. Yeah. All the way from Portugal, I didn't know. I don't know if Lucas knew because of the language, but is it called Titi or Tete? How you call it, Mao? Okay.
I'm going to call it
Tete?
Tete. Yes, friend?
Tete?
I think
Okay.
it's Tete. I
It's
think so.
Tete. Yes, yes. I think it's Tete. His name is Tiago. Help me with this, friend. Teixeira.
Teixeira.
Teixeira, thank you. He's
Yes.
from Portugal. I was very curious about your opinions about it. So in the case of Mariel, because like he's a R&B pop singer. In the case of Lucas, because he's from Portugal. So he's an R&B singer. Um, in this kind of vibe of Justin Timberlake or Usher, I think he's like the Justin Timberlake from Portugal. I it happened to know this guy because I was back in the day when I was in college, I was
Oh.
learning Portuguese, and I want to know music because I think it's for the three of us. We everything is about music for us. So I was like, okay, I want to know more about music in Portuguese, like from Brazil or Portugal. And I was looking for R&B, of course. And I found this guy, and I was like instantly fan of this guy because I like so much that his style and all his work
Mm-hmm.
is in Portuguese actually. And I perceive this kind of vibe that is very Justin Timberlake, but at the same time is very like himself because everything in his work is very R&B. So I perceive that he loves R&B music, so that's the
Yeah.
reason his work is like that. So he signed it with Universal Music in Portugal. He's kind of
Mhm.
popular in Portugal, actually. And it's funny because in Portugal there are another singers, R&B singers. So I think in Portugal there are a lot of this movement. So he released his debut album in 2007 that is called TT, and the he was success with this, and then he released Mais que uma help me friend,
Mais que uma
mais que uma
razão.
razão,
Mais que uma razão.
mais que uma razão. Sorry,
Razão.
I'm doing my best because I study Portuguese and I love
Yeah.
the language, but
You are almost there because ração is the food the dog eats, so it's
okay,
razão.
razão. Okay, okay. Thank you, friend. Thank you. And I know
Yes.
Mariel
Okay.
knows Portuguese too. So in 2009. So guys, I want to know your opinions about him. I'm very curious about to know what Lucas think about it. So how do you perceive his music?
Okay, so I didn't know about him before. Actually, me and Mauricio discovered together that I already
Yes.
listened to him in the past, thanks to Last FM. But it was a song by Dulce Maria that they did a version
Oh,
with this guy for Portugal, Inevitably. So when it was released back then, I
Mhm.
listened twice,
yes.
so I probably didn't like it.
Yes.
But I gotta say, it's not common for Brazil to listen to Portugal music um,
Oh,
at all. We don't
I
have
was
anything
so
like
curious
Portugal
about it.
here.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, it's the opposite. Like Portugal, listen to Brazilian music all the time. We don't
Okay.
have any popular Portugal artists here. I can
Really?
mention if you want.
Oh,
No, because the accent is very different. So um,
what is the
I'm,
difference?
it's a lot of different. Like I can even understand what this guy is singing
Really?
sometimes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Like it's really different. It's really different. Brazilian culture is so part of Portugal
Of
that they
course.
can listen to our accent more easily. But for us, it's super hard. I can even make the accents. I don't know. They
Um,
say like ora pois, with a lot of X in the
Okay.
words, like you know. We don't talk like that much. So sounds like someone trying to speak Brazilian. Let's say this
okay.
Brazilian. You know, so it's weird to listen. I try the songs, and for me, it sounds like when a Brazilian artist tried to do R&B, like the boy bands that I mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
like in the second episode called Vibe, that is a Brazilian. The production is very similar, like, but I feel like Brazilian and Portugal trying to make an American thing.
Yes.
Sounds like this to me, and but the problem for me was more the voice of the guy because I was expecting something more strong, like
Mm,
a voice with more power, and it's very soft. His voice is very soft, very smooth. I don't know. I gotta be honest, friend. I didn't like it. I wasn't crazy
okay. Okay,
about
okay.
it. Yeah, but maybe it's Portugal because I saw a video recommended after I listened by a guy called Angelico. I don't know if you are familiar
Yes.
with this guy.
Yes, because he
I
was a part of a boy band or something like that.
Yes, I clicked it because I recognize him by Desert, the boy band,
Dessert, yes.
and Desert and Nonstop. That was the
Yes.
girls from Portugal Pop Stars. Were
Mm-hmm.
the only acts that I listened from
Oh,
Portugal. So I was
okay.
Mm-hmm.
curious. He was part of the boy band, and I listened. It was R&B too,
Yes.
and I was like, it's a no for me again.
Oh,
You
okay, okay,
know.
okay, okay. So
So
it's
maybe it's
Portugal.
maybe it's because of the accent. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, okay.
I
What
did
do you
like
think,
him.
my dear Mariel?
I did. I didn't, I never
Okay,
knew his
that's
existence, and
nice.
like Lucas said, I wasn't really familiar with Portuguese music because of I've always been a fan of Brazilian music, and the only ones I knew was Nonstop. So, Ao Limite Eu Vou. Those are the ones that was the one I know. So
Yeah.
when you mentioned this artist, I was really curious, and when I first listened to, I was like, this is Mouse style for sure, because he definitely sounds R&B. And he reminded me, I just
Yes.
searched for him really quickly right now, of a French singer. I don't know if you guys remember him. Camaro. Don't want encore, baby, don't want baby.
No,
No.
He
No.
reminded me so much of Camaro. Camaro.
no,
I will send you the song, guys,
Camaro.
because it's really cool.
Okay.
And a little bit of Sean Desmond too. Yes. So
Oh,
I
Yeah.
yes,
found,
yes, yes. I agree with that.
yes, a lot.
Yes. Even in
So
his
I
look.
found a lot of similarities with
Yes.
these two
Yes.
singers, and I found the music like really chilling, really cool. He has good looks, so I did like it. So, but yeah, yes. So yeah, it's
Ah,
yay
that's
for me.
nice. Okay, okay, perfect. And what do you think, guys? This guy deserves more recognition? I think for Lucas it's a no. What do you
No, I
think,
think
friend?
so. I think he deserves more, but I will like to listen him singing in English
Okay.
to see how it goes. Because then I can discover if I don't like his voice, the music, or for me it's just my conception of the Portuguese accent. That is something that I feel that I gotta change in my mind. Like
Now
because I
that
listen to
I
a lot of music, so
Mm-hmm.
I choose reset this cultural thing, Portugal
yes.
Yeah,
versus
same.
Brazil in my mind.
It's funny that you mentioned that because in the case of us, for example, Mariel and me, that we are from Latin American countries that speak Spanish, the Spanish
Mm-hmm.
singers are very influential, like La Oreja de Van
Yes,
Gogh, Alejandro Sanz, La Quinta Estación, a lot, a lot.
Yeah.
So I was expecting the same for you. Like I
same.
thought that the Portugal singers were very influential in the music. But taking
No.
in consideration that in Brazil we have like a world of music very very authentic, very very from your country, I understand why.
I
What do
think
you
that he
think,
Yeah.
could be
Mariel,
a little bit more known.
about Tite?
Probably not super popular, but he could have more influence out there. He has the looks, he has the talent, so I could see him having more popularity. Yes.
I agree. I agree. I go with this because I think maybe he's not like this kind of guy that you see and wow, this guy deserves everything because
Hmm.
in the case of Tarkan, for example, I see Tarkan and I see that oh, he could be like he must be an amazing star. In the case of Tete, it's not the same, but I think it's maybe
Okay, yes,
more known.
definitely.
Yes.
And that was all about those nine artists that we chose today. We just talked about the nines, and I don't know if Lucas has a game for us.
Yes. Well, our video is already long, so I
Okay.
have only two questions and very quickly to finish. The first, I want to know about you guys. If you guys can imagine a duet between the artists that we mentioned here, for me would be very cool to see Shiri, my mom, singing with Elena Paparizou, a song very poppy and very sexy and very girl power. And I don't know, would be amazing. So, Mao, do you have an idea of
Yes,
collaboration?
I can see
Mm-hmm.
Darin with Tete. It's very
Okay.
similar, pop R&B,
I
yes.
could see
And you, Marielle?
Tiziano with Tete too,
Oh,
Oh, you'd be amazing too.
and
Yes.
probably
yes, yes,
Nancy
yes.
and Tarkan.
Yes, totally. Yes.
This is for sure. Yes, I agree.
Yes, for sure. Yes, yes.
And my last question to finish, I want to know which artists you guys like it to discover more in this episode, and that you guys will probably continue to listen and find more things. For me, I already knew him, but I'm kind of obsessed with Arkan now. I gotta listen to the English album. I gotta see that face more in my television. So
Okay.
I wanna know
Um,
about you guys, Marielle.
hmm, I think I'm gonna give Tiziano a chance because I already have the bad influence of the mustache, you know?
Yeah,
So, and from
yeah.
Mao's recommendations, I think I'm gonna try more of Tete. Yes. And you, Mao?
Okay.
And you,
Okay.
Mal.
For me, from the ones that Mariel shows, I think Elena Paparizou, because I already listened to her music when Mariel suggests me, but that was like two or three songs, and I am very curious about to know more about this woman. And about you, friend, of course, about Darin, because I know
Please do.
there are a
Yes.
lot of good material that he has, and
Yes.
I want to like maybe I want to break this image that I have that he's average, maybe he's not. So yes,
Great.
I want to know more about him.
Oh, awesome. And just to be fair from the artist that Marielle chose, I will try more of Elena too, because I discovered
Mm.
that I never saw all the music videos because I saw on YouTube
Oh,
some videos that I never checked it. And from the pictures, I can see that I'm,
yes.
I'm going
She
to like
she's she's
because they
always so
look very pop,
colorful with her videos, so
very
yes, you will
2000s.
like.
So I will.
Great.
Yes,
Yes. Well, I hope you
Yes, I
guys
will
have enjoyed
definitely
this
watch
episode
more.
because
Yes.
I definitely did. And well, I just want to say don't forget to subscribe. It's very important to give us a big thumbs up, to share it with your friends, follow us on Instagram, and to leave us our comments. Leave us your comments of what you guys think about this video. Check the playlist that we're going to make of this episode. It's going to be really international, so you guys will listen to a lot of languages. So we really
Yeah.
hope you guys enjoyed this video.
yes.
What do you guys want to add, Mao?
No, just about the playlist. It would be a very interesting playlist because you're going to find different kind of languages and music. So, thank you guys as always. Always with you, I learn a lot. Today
Yes,
was not
thank
the
you.
exception,
Lucas?
so thank you guys.
Yeah. I hope this episode can be for a lot of people what my Rafael was for me, what Marielle's Rafael was for her, what
Yes.
me and
Yes.
Marielle are
Yes.
for Mauricio and Mauricio are for us. Like this whole new world of music for everyone to discover and fall in love
Thank
as
you. Thank you,
much as
everybody,
we
for
do.
watching, and
So
stay
that's
tuned for
it.
next episode. Big hug to everybody. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
Finally, Annette.